Good evening and welcome into the Anytime Auto Sales Service and Detail Broadcast Booth, Sales, Service, and Recreation. This is the J&J Truck and Auto Body pregame show presented by J&J Truck and Auto Body. For the highest quality work and hassle-free customer service, let J&J take away your stress. That's J&J Truck and Auto Body on East Philadelphia Street in Rapid City. This is game 2 of the 2-game doubleheader featuring the Brookings Post 74 Bandits and your Post 22 Hardhats right here in Rapid City. You're at Black Hills Surgical Hospital Ballpark. And the Hardhats victorious by a 5-3 margin in game number 1. All 5 of the Hardhats runs came in the first inning, where they got to the starting pitcher Parker Winghart in game 1 in that first inning and ended up stringing together 3 consecutive hits, a walk, and then another hit to score all of those runs. Ended up sending 10 men to the plate in that first inning for the Hardhats. And that was really the difference maker in this ball game. After that, straight zeros for the Hardhats. Post 74 struck for 2 in the 3rd and 1 in the 6th. But the Hardhats were able to hang on for the victory. Eli Kelly with the complete game victory on the mound for the Hardhats, and the Hardhats improve to 17-10 on the season. And Brookings, just getting their Legion season underway, and they fell to 2-4 on the season with that game 1 loss. Today's Keys to the Game are brought to you by Dakota Discount RV. Find the key to building lasting family memories with a new or pre-owned RV from Dakota Discount RV. Take a look at their great selection of RVs at 2 locations. Dakota Discount RV is across from Cabela's and also on JB Road in Blackhawk. And key for game number 2. Obviously, after game number 1, they like the Hardhats to score a little bit more consistently. Now that 5-run first inning held up, but to score a few more innings outside of just the one big inning would help quite a bit to propel yourself to the victory, and that's what the Hardhats coaching staff is shooting for here in game 2. Today's starting lineups are built by Connect Home Center. Whether it's residential or commercial, Connect Home Center has been your hometown lumberyard since 1928. For the visiting Brookings Post 74 Bandits out of Brookings, South Dakota, clear over on the east side. It's Lincoln Harden, the left fielder, who leads things off. Breck Hershoff, the second baseman, bats second, followed by Parker Winghart, the shortstop. He bats third. Henry Hamrick bats fourth. He's the center fielder. Justin Koffel, the first baseman, bats fifth. Peyton Lease will be the pitcher on the mound for Post 74. He will bat sixth. Ashton Whitty, the third baseman, bats 7th. Sam Harden, the catcher, bats 8th. And Austin Clark gets the start in right field. He bats 9th for the Bandits. They face Brian Atkinson on the mound for the Hardhats. We'll dive into his numbers as we get going and when he takes the field in the top of the first. On the other side for the Post 22 Hardhats, it's Zeke Farley who leads things off. He's the center fielder. The left fielder, Amarian Saylor, bats second, followed by Wyatt Anderson at the hot corner of third base. Hayden Hollick in the 4 spot and cleanup spot in the Hardhats lineup. He's the first baseman. Harrison Good in right field. He bats 5th. Dylan Marsh, the second baseman, bats 6th. Riker Henny is a designated hitter. He bats 7th, followed by the catcher, Jake Solano, in the 8th spot, and Wilson Kiefer in the 9th spot at shortstop. And the Hardhats face Nathan Lease on the mound for Brookings. Starting lineups being announced on the field as we speak. And we're just about set for baseball here. We'll have the starting lineups and then the national anthem here at Black Hills Surgical Hospital Ballpark. A local heroes night at the ballpark, honoring those who are heroes here in the community of Rapid City and the surrounding area. Anyone that is a first responder and or even doctors, firemen, all local heroes here in Rapid City on Local Heroes Night. And just about set for baseball here in Game 2. So we'll take a step aside and come back after our national anthem here at the ballpark and come back for baseball with Brian Atkinson on the mound for the Hardhats. Stick around. You're listening to Post 22 Hardhats Baseball on Hardhats TV and Fox Sports Rapid City. Welcome back to the Anytime Auto Sales Service and Detail Broadcast Booth, Sales, Service, and Recreation. Hardhats take the field. This is the continuation of the J&J Truck and Auto Body pregame show presented by J&J Truck and Auto Body. As the Hardhats set for Game 2 in this battle with the Brookings Post 74 Bandits. Adam Birch alongside you, bringing you all 7 innings of regulation here for Game 2, and if needed anything more here on a chilly night in Rapid City. Some rain this afternoon, that's cleared off, and just some clouds overhead now. Wind is very calm here at the ballpark, and Brian Atkinson, the right-hander, throwing his warm-up pitches. Atkinson on the season, 26 1/3 innings. This is his 6th start and 8th appearance overall, a 3-2 record for the Hardhats. 26 hits, 18 runs, 9 earned runs. 16 strikeouts to 12 walks, 6 hit batters, and a 2.39 ERA. for Ryan Atkinson on the mound. His last appearance was a start versus Miles City over the weekend, actually on Friday at the Veterans Classic. He went all 5 innings, allowed just 3 hits, no runs, 7 strikeouts, and 1 walk. 1 hit batter as well. But the Hardhats only needed the 5 innings to defeat Miles City at the Veterans Classic, and they finished 4-1 at the Veterans Classic last week. Ceremonial tap of the Hardhats around Atkinson. And Lincoln Harden steps in on the right side. Set for baseball. Lincoln Harden, the left fielder. A blue and gold bat on the right side. White batting gloves, some long white sleeves to go along with his uniform. Atkinson winds, kicks, deals, and skips one in front of the plate. And we are underway at 7:05 local Mountain Time. About 25 minutes prior to the originally scheduled time for this ball game. The 1-0. Bouncer left side on a couple of hops. Anderson had it bounce off the bottom of his glove and unable to make a play. Lincoln Harden was fast out of the box. We'll see if that's ruled a hit. Might be a leadoff error, and it is an E5 on Wyatt Anderson. No errors in that first game for either side. Brookings looking to try and have a quick start here in game 2. First pitch, a breaking ball inside on Breck Hershoff for ball 1. Hershoff in game 1, a triple, a single, hit by a pitch and struck out. That triple scored 2 runs. And Hershoff looks at ball 2, a little bit upstairs and outside. 2 balls and no strikes to count. The 2-0, fastball right below the belt, called strike 1. So 2 balls and a strike. Atkinson peek at first and comes set at the chest, the 2-1, inside ball 3. So 3 balls and a strike now on the Brookings second baseman. Runner on first and nobody out, the 3-1. Bouncer left side, another opportunity for Anderson. He goes to second for 1, over to first, and a scoop on the back end by Hollick. It's a 5-4-3 double play.
The player for shortstop, number 21, Parker Winghart.
Here's Parker Winghart. Two outs now. And Winghart, a bouncer right side doing Marsh. Fields and fires to first, out number 3. So an error does not come back to bite the Hardhats. A double play helped out and erased by Anderson. And scoreless after 1.5 inning of play. Back in a moment right here on Hardhats TV and Fox Sports Rapid City.
We are your community. We are your neighbors. Our family of doctors are invested in our community. At Black Hills Orthopedic and Spine Center, we are honored to help you along the journey from injury to recovery. You have a choice with Black Hills Orthopedic and Spine Center, specializing in what moves you.
Welcome back to the Anytime Auto Sales Service and Detail Broadcast Booth, Sales Service and Recreation. Bottom of inning number 1, scoreless after 1/2 inning of play. A leadoff error and then a 5-4-3 double play. And a bouncer to second to gain the 3 outs for Brian Atkinson on the mound. First pitch to Zeke Farley. He scored the bunt and ducked out of the way as he pulled back for ball 1 against Nathan Lease. The right-hander winds, kicks, deals, and a fastball right across the belt. 1 ball, 1 strike. And the 1-1, a fly ball right center field. Long run for both outfielders, and no one will get there. It 2 bounces up against the wall. Farley round second. He heads for third, and he stands up into third. A stand-up lead-off triple, and that's the second game in a row that Farley has led off with a triple. Did that in game 1. Very similar spot to be hit, right center field. And rolled all the way to the wall. Here's Amarian Saylor. Saylor, a fly ball right side, out of play, foul. 0-1. Zeke doesn't give us much time to talk about his numbers, but Amarian Saylor coming into tonight, 32 hits and 81 at-bats, exactly 100 plate appearances on the season over 26 games. Looks at a breaking ball low for ball 1. Even count, 1 ball and 1 strike. A .395 average for Amarian Saylor. The 1-1 breaking ball called strike 2. Lease working out of the windup with the runner at third. Nobody else on base. The 1-2 high with a fastball. Even count, 2 balls and 2 strikes. And an on-base plus slugging percentage for Amarian Saylor of 1144. The 2-2. Line drive right at the shortstop off his glove of Winghart. And he can't make the grab. Saylor reaches on what will be scored, most likely an error, and it is. Looked like Winghart had the beat on that one. Farley unable to score on what was just a hard line drive. There'll be runners on the corners for Wyatt Anderson and still nobody out. First pitch to Anderson, a high flying ball, center field, back is hammered, still roaming back, twisting and turning, and nobody will get there. It 2 bounces up against the wall for Anderson. Saylor being sent around third. The throw comes in, it's cut off and bobbled, and it's a 2-run double for Wyatt Anderson. And the Hardhats on the board once again first. It's 2-0. Wyatt Anderson crushed that baseball. No chance. Hit just to the right of the .393 marker in left center field. Farley and Saylor both score on the play, and now Hayden Hollick. Hollick, a first pitch breaking ball, looked at for a called strike 1. Anderson on second and the 0-1. High flying ball, center field. Hamrick has a playable opportunity this time. Backs up and makes the grab high above his head. Anderson tags and moves to third. Hamrick playing a little bit deeper that time. And goes down just as a fly out to center.
14, right fielder, Harrison Good.
Here's Harrison Good. Runner at third and 1 out, and Good goes after the first pitch, bounces it into center field. An RBI single for Harrison Good, and it's 3-0 Hardhats. Boy, the Hardhats have been jumping all over Nathan Lease very early in the count. So Anderson scores from third. A quick trip from Sam Harden out behind the plate. Dylan Marsh, the new batter, good at first. 1 out, 3-0 Hardhats on 3 hits and a crucial error. First pitch to Marsh. He squares the bunt, pulls back, and the fastball misses high, ball 1. Marsh looking to get back into the hit column. He went 0 for 3 in game 1. The 1-0, a high fly ball down the left field line, a foul into the Hardhats bullpen. So 1 ball, 1 strike on Marsh. Right-hander comes set, a peek at first, sidesteps and delivers, and that one ends up in the turf. Blocked by Harden to throw down to second, and Good is safe in at second base on what will be scored a wild pitch. So 2 balls and a strike on Dylan Marsh. Runner in scoring position once again. On the ready, 3-0 Hardhats, and a bouncer to short. On the run, Winghart fires to first in time to get Marsh by a half a step. Good had to hold up at third base even though Winghart came in crashing. 6-3 in the book for round number 2. Here's Riker Henny, the designated hitter. A couple of singles for Henny in game 1, also hit by a pitch, so 2 for 2. And Henny looks at ball 1 downstairs. 1 ball, no strikes. Good aboard second. 2 gone. And Henny bounces 1 to the right side. Hershoff bobbles it at second base, and it'll roll into right field. Good around third. He tries to score. He slides in safely at the plate. And Henny will end up at second base. A wild throw into the plate. Home play Harrison Good's all right. He kind of an awkward slide into home. So it's 4-0 Hardhats. Henny aboard second base. Our field umpire, Yogi Millslegel, was discussing something with the Hardhats dugout. And Solana looks at ball 1 outside. Maybe a bench warning on the Hardhats for coming out onto the field too quickly to celebrate the run. Solano fouls away the 1-0 pitch, even count 1 ball and 1 strike. 1-1, a breaking ball turns out of the way of it. 2 balls and a strike. 4-0 Hardhats. 3 hits and 2 Brookings errors. For no errors by either side in game 1. The 1-1. Strike across the knees, a fastball that time from Lease. A ball and 2 strikes now. Set at the chest. Peek at second and the 1-2. Down and away. Breaking ball that time to put 2s across the board. 2 balls, 2 strikes. A man on second and 2 gone. And ball 3 misses low and away. So a payoff pitch coming at least to Solano. The payoff is swung on and missed. Solano goes down swinging for out number 3. The Hardhats strike first. They lead 4-0 after 1. Back in a moment for the second after this on Hardhats TV and Fox Sports Rapid City. Welcome back to the Anytime Auto Sales Service and Detail Broadcast Booth, Sales Service and Recreation. Hardhats start strong once again, 5 runs in game 1. Well, they got 4 runs in game 2 in inning number 1. And they lead 4-0 after the first inning of play. Bandits send 4, 5, and 6 due up after a double play ball erased leadoff base runner. So Atkinson has faced the minimum. And Henry Hamrick, the new batter. Atkinson high over the head into the wind, and the first pitch, a high fly ball, deep left field. Back is Amarian Saylor. He looks up, and that ball is gone. Henry Hamrick drove a ball similar to that in game 1. Takes the very first pitch of the inning off of the Farmers Union insurance sign in left field for a solo shot. First one ended up a fly ball in game 1, and this one a little bit more of a line drive ends up a solo shot. First pitch to Justin Koffel is a called strike across the knees, 0-1. Koffel, the first baseman, nobody on and nobody out. 4-1 our score after the solo shot. Atkinson winds, kicks, deals, and the 1-1 down and away, scooped by Solano. Into the wind and the 2-1. Line drive, hooking right field. It bounces in front of Harrison Good. Marsh was roaming clear out on the play, trying to catch the blooper. But it's a single after the solo home run against Atkinson. That'll bring up Nathan Lease, the pitcher. Runner on first, still nobody out, 4-1 our score. Atkinson sidesteps and delivers. A bouncer up the middle. Kiefer flips to second for 1. Over to first, a wild throw. Hollick tried to swipe the tag and missed. So it just goes down as a fielder's choice. Looked like Kiefer almost had the opportunity to take it to the second base bag himself. But it's 6-4 of fielder's choice. Koffel out at second, Lease reaches. And check on Lease, he dives back in. So 1 out, a runner on first, 4-1 our score. Now Ashton Whitty. And Whitty looks at a breaking ball called strike 1. Whitty, the third baseman for game 2. A wide open stance on the right side. Long white sleeves and white batting gloves. And Whitty looks at ball 1 outside. 1 ball and 1 strike. Brookings in maroon uniforms with gray numbers on their backs and white trim. Bandits written across the chest. Bouncer right back to Atkinson on the mound. He fires his second, a wild throw, and it goes into center field. It'll be an E1. And Whitty able to reach on a fielder's choice. Kiefer had to reach back across his body towards the shortstop side as he was covering second. So 2 errors already for both teams. Here's Sam Harden, the catcher. 2 on, 1 out, 4-1 our score. Favor of Rapid City, and Atkinson misses high, ball 1. Atkinson looks into Solano. He flashes the sign, comes set at the chest, and quick move back to second. And a slap of the tag by Kiefer. But Woody back in. Actually, Lease back in safely. The 1-0. Line drive right at it. Anderson. He fires across the diamond in time. It's a double play. Scored an L5-3 double play to end the inning. 4-1 our score. Bandits strike on the board. A solo home run by Henry Hamrick. And they trail 4-1 heading to the bottom of the second. Back in a moment on Hardhats TV and Fox Sports Rapid City. Welcome back to the Anytime Auto Sales Service and Detail Broadcast Booth, Sales Service and Recreation. 4-1 our score, 4 runs in the first inning for the Hardhats, and they send 9-1-2 to the plate. A solo shot by the Bandits to lead off the second. That was off the bat of the center fielder, Henry Hamrick. They get the Bandits on the board. Kiefer swings through the first pitch, fouls it back to the screen, 0-1. Kiefer, the only man not sent to the plate in that first inning. Quick wind from Lease, and Kiefer swings through a high fastball, now down in the count 0-2. Lease working quickly into the wind and the 0-2. Swing and a miss, another high fastball, and Kiefer goes chasing. Back-to-back strikeouts going back to the first inning. And strikeout number 2 overall is out number 1 here in the second. Here's Zeke Farley, squares the bunt, drops it down right back to Lease on the mound. He fields and fires the first in time to get the speed of Farley out on the base pass. And that's out number 2. A hard bunt back to the pitcher. Pretty much straight back. Not much difficulty for Lease. Here's Amarian Saylor, and he looks at a breaking ball high for ball 1. Home plate umpire for game number 2 is John Whitcraft, with Yogi Milslagle in the field. Called strike 1 on the outside corner. 1 ball and 1 strike. The 1-1. High pop-up. On the infield, the second baseman, Breck Hershoff, underneath of it and makes the grab for out number 3. And the Hardhats go down in order in their half of the second. They lead 4-1. We head to the third after this on Hardhats TV and Fox Sports Rapid City.
Gunderson, Palmer, Nelson, and Ashmore has provided a full range of legal services for over 40 years in Rapid City. As one of the largest and highly respected law firms in western South Dakota and multi-state region, our expert team of diversified attorneys offer a very personalized style of legal representation. Whether it's support and recommendations with legal documents or the strongest proponent in a court of law, trusting who you hire as your advocate is vital in achieving the best results. Contact the experienced professionals today at Gunderson, Palmer, Nelson, and Ashmore Attorneys at Law.
Welcome back to the Anytime Auto Sales Service and Detail Broadcast Booth, Sales Service and Recreation. Adam Birch set to bring you inning number 3, with the Hardhats leading the Brookings Bandits 4-1 on the State Farm scoreboard, insured by agents Scott Carlson and Matt McCormick. Hardhats victorious in Game 1, 5-3. Scored all 5 runs in the first inning. Scored 4 in this first inning. Now in the third, Atkinson misses down and away for ball 1 to the 9 bat of Austin Clark. 9-1-2, due up for post 74. Atkinson winds, kicks, deals, and the 1-0 swing and a miss. Even count, 1 ball, 1 strike. Clark gets the start in right field after game 1 off. And the 1-1. A line drive, a little bouncer now to Dylan Marsh. He bobbles it at second base, and that'll be another error for the Hardhats. This time in E4.
Left fielder, number 10, Hardhats.
So another leadoff base runner reaches for Brookings. It was erased in the first inning by a double play. Top of the order now, though, in Lincoln Harden. 1-1. He ducks out of the way of the first pitch fastball. 1 ball, no strikes. Runner on first, nobody out. 4-1 our score in favor of the Hardhats. Atkinson set at the chest, sidesteps and delivers, and it's fouled away right at the plate. 1 ball and 1 strike. One run, 2 hits, 2 errors for Brookings. 4 runs, 3 hits, 3 errors for the Hardhats. And Brookings with those their maroon tops of gray pants. Ball 2 misses down and away. White stripes on their sleeves. Hardhats in red uniforms. And the 2-1, a little bloop shot into left field, down for a hit. And the throw comes in a third. It's a strong throw, and it bounces off the glove of Anderson. Up to second goes Harden, so it'll be second and third, nobody out. Strong throw from Amarian Saylor in left field. But Brookings decides to try and test the arm. Looked like the ball would have beat Austin Clark. Going first to third. Anderson just mishandled it. Here's Breck Hershoff. First pitch, outside edge, breaking ball, called strike 1. No balls and a strike. Henderson looks into Solano, comes set before the 1-strike pitch. Peak at second, sidesteps and deals, and a backhand scoop by Solano behind the plate. Keeps the ball from going back to the backstop. An even count of 1 ball and 1 strike. It's Marion Saylor in left field for the Hardhats. Zeke Farley in center. Harrison Good in right field. The 1-1. Outside, 2 balls and a strike. On the infield, Wyatt Anderson at the hot corner. Wilson Kiefer, the shortstop. Dylan Marsh, the second baseman. And Hayden Hollick, the first baseman, with Jake Solano behind the plate doing the catching for Brian Atkinson. 2-1, bouncer up the middle, Wilson Kiefer. Only play to be to first, and that's out number 1. And that scores a run. The deficit is cut in half. It's 4-2 now. One out, man at third. And now Parker Winghart. 4-2 Hardhats. Atkinson sidesteps and delivers and misses outside, ball 1. Winghart, a bouncer to Marsh at second. And Atkinson misses outside for ball 2. Hardhats, a shift on the right side of the infield. Kiefer playing up the middle, right in line with the second base bag. And Marsh in shallow right field. Popped up behind the plate left side, and it reaches the berm area. Two balls and a strike now. Still big gap on the right side of the infield. The 2-1, swing and a miss on a high fastball. Now an even count of 2-2. Slight breeze blowing now. Right to left and a little bit out to left field. Atkinson set, and the 2-2, outside, ball 3. 3-2, a payoff pitch coming to Parker Winghart now. Henry Hamrick on deck. Solo shot is the last strip. Payoff, bouncer right side foul. Into the glove of Hayden Hollick, but in foul territory. Another payoff coming. Shading Winghart to the straight pull side as a left-handed bat. Pigeon-toed stance. Another payoff, and it's swing and a miss. Down goes Parker Winghart, swinging for out number 2. Runner still at third. It's 4-2. And Henry Hamrick coming to the plate. First strikeout for Brian Atkinson. First pitch now to Hamrick. A breaking ball down and away, blocked by Solano. 1 ball, no strikes. Hamrick, that solo shot off the left field sponsor sign to lead off the second. Looks at a called strike at the knees, outer edge. A straight line drive that was out of here in a hurry. And Hamrick asked for time. The 1-1. Breaking ball, called strike 2, outer edge. A ball and 2 strikes now on Henry Hamrick. Both teams 3 hits aside. Set and the 1-2, down and away, blocked by Solano. and puts twos across the board. Signs flash by Solano to Atkinson. Set and the 2-2. Downstairs, scooped behind the plate. And now 3-2 to Hamrick. Justin Koffel on deck. Atkinson shakes off a sign. Now comes set. And the payoff. Breaking ball down and away, ball 4. So Hamrick draws a 2-out walk to put runners on the corners. Justin Koffel steps back in for the second time. He's 1 for 1, a single in the second. Hardhats leading 4-2 over the Bandits. One great pants for Koffel. First pitch. This is a touch high for ball 1 from Atkinson. Up over 40 pitches. This will be at number 45 for Brian Atkinson. Comes set for the 1-0. Here it is, and the 1-0 is squared to bunt, pulled back, and ball 2 misses upstairs. Didn't look like Koffel was really wanting to bunt that ball. Two balls, no strikes. Runners on the corners, 2 gone. The 2-0, breaking ball, called strike 1. Ended up right at the belt. Atkinson toes the rubber once again on the far first base side. Inside. 3 balls and a strike now. There is a base open, but Atkinson would like to avoid walking the bases full. Here's the 3-1. Popped up behind the plate, out of play. Now 3-2. Payoff pitch coming as Atkinson gains a new baseball. Looks into Solano. Payoff pitch, Atkinson to Koffel. Here it is. Bouncer left side through the gap into left field. Hamrick round second. He stays put there, but it's 4-3, an RBI single for Justin Koffel. And Brookings just continues to eat away at the Hardhats lead. Harden comes in to score. There's still 2 men out. And here comes Coach Ewing out of the dugout. With that, we have a few moments to review this week's 20 Tuesday trivia answer and question. The question this week for the 20 Tuesday trivia. If my technology would cooperate with me. All right, here's the question. Coach Dave Plouffe used to make a special spaghetti sauce for Post 22's annual Dining on the Diamond night. What made it quote unquote special besides the fact that Coach Plouffe made it? It was vegetarian, he added bacon and pepperoni, he added cheese, or he added sugar. The answer, Coach Plouffe added bacon and pepperoni. First pitch to Nathan Lease, misses downstairs, ball 1. Runners on first and second, 2 gone, 4-3 our score. And according to Mrs. Patty Plouffe, he got the recipe from his father. He always made a huge roaster full. Bouncer up the middle, Kiefer flips to second, and that's the third out of the inning. Brookings cuts into the deficit with 2 runs in the top of the third, and now only trail 4-3. Hardhats trying to counter, get something going here in the bottom of inning number 3. Right after this on Hardhats TV and Fox Sports Rapid City. Welcome back to the Anytime Auto Sales Service and Detail Broadcast Booth, Sales Service and Recreation. 4-3 our score now on the State Farm scoreboard, insured by agents Scott Carlson and Matt McCormick. Brookings has cut into their deficit. And Wyatt Anderson looks at a called strike 1 across the knees, 0-1 against Nathan Lease. The 0-1 breaking ball bounces in front of the plate. 1 ball, 1 strike. 1-1 misses low. Now 2 balls and a strike for Anderson. A 2-run double. His first trip at the plate, he scored a run. 2-1, swing and a miss. Even count, 2 balls and 2 strikes. 4 runs in the opening inning for the Hardhats, but 1 in the second and 2 in the third for Brookings. The 2-2 popped foul and out of play. And Brookings actually out hitting the Hardhats now 4-3. 2-2 outside, and now 3 balls and 2 strikes on Wyatt Anderson. Payoff pitch popped foul right side and out of play. Leads into the line in the payoff. Bouncer left side to the shortstop Winghart. He's up with it, fires to first, and beats Anderson by a half a step for out number 1. Now Hayden Hollick. Fly to center, his first trip at the plate here in game 2. One out, nobody on. Hollick looks at a called strike right above the belt, 0-1. Now Hollick looks at ball 1 outside. Even count, 1 ball and 1 strike. Lease into the line, and the 1-1 is strike 2 called at the letters. The 1-2. Popped up right side, drifting foul territory, and it reaches the Brookings bullpen area. So the count remains 1 ball and 2 strikes on Hollick. 1 out, nobody on. The 1-2, swing and a miss on a nasty breaking ball. Hollick goes down swinging for out number 2. Third strikeout for Nathan Lease. The right-hander. And now Harrison Good. RBI single and a run scored his first time. Line drive, base hit, past the glove of Ashton Whitty and into left field. Harrison Good is 2 for 2 with a pair of singles. This one comes with 2 outs in the bottom of the third. Now Dylan Marsh. Bouncer to short his first trip. Both teams tied with 4 hits aside. And Marsh looks at a called strike 1, a fastball right above the bell at 0-1. Hardhats leading in the runs column 4-3. Runner takes off for second, and Marsh fouls it back to the screen. Down in the count, he goes 0-2. No balls and 2 strikes on Dylan Marsh. Good on first, 2 gone. There's the 0-2, and it misses high. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Wind blowing straight out to left field, according to the flags above the scoreboard in left center. Once the right-handed hitters in the Hardhats lineup. The 1-2 misses a touch outside. And puts 2s across the board. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 gone. Hardhats bats fell cold in game 1 after the first inning. 2-2, swing and a miss. Marsh goes down swinging, out number 3. 4th strikeout overall, and we head to the 4th. With the Hardhats leading 4-3. Back in a moment, you're listening to Post 22 Hardhats Baseball on Hardhats TV and 106.7 FM, 1150 AM, Fox Sports Rapid City. Welcome back to the Anytime Auto Sales Service and Detail Broadcast Booth, Sales Service and Recreation. Just about set for inning number 4 here at Black Hills Surgical Hospital Ballpark here in Rapid City. And what was a pretty cold night for baseball. The wind has kind of picked up, blowing straight out to left, with Ashton Whitty coming to the plate. 7-8-9 due up against Brian Atkinson. Hardhats leading 4-3. And Whitty, bouncer left side, and Anderson backhand stop, throws the first in time. What a play by Wyatt Anderson to start off the inning. Down to a knee and a backhanded stop. Up to his feet, and he made the throw. What a star next to that one. Out number 1. Here's Sam Harden. Harden lined into a double play. Back in the second. Fly ball left center field. Zeke Farley over to his right. He makes the grab for out number 2. So quickly, 2 up, 2 down. And Austin Clark coming to the plate. Shadows a little bit tricky here at the ballpark right now. Zeke Farley in center is in a lot of sunshine. The rest of the field in shadows. Harrison Good is in some sun and right. Marion Saylor, just a little bit of sun peeking through the clouds. And the shadows wisping across left field. Don't believe Zeke has sunglasses in center. The 1-1, bouncer up the third base line, a foul. A ball and 2 strikes now on Austin Clark. He reached on an error his first trip. Ended up at third base. Actually ended up scoring in the third. Atkinson misses down and away with a breaking ball. Even count, 2 balls and 2 strikes, nobody on and 2 gone. The 2-2. Foul tipped back to the screen. Four to 3 our score. Both teams with 4 hits on the scoreboard. And this one, a line drive over the leaping glove of Dylan Marsh. Harrison Good fires the first. It's not in time. Close play. But Clark beat out a single to the outfield. We've seen Harrison Good trying that before. That one the closest he's come. Top of the order now for post 74 in Lincoln Harden. Single run scored in the third and reached on an error to start off the ball game. Runner takes off, the pitch misses inside, to throw down in time. And the runner Clark caught stealing for out number 3. A great throw by Jake Solano behind the plate. We head to the bottom of the 4th, 4 to 3 Hardhats. Try and tack on a few more runs after this on Hardhats TV and Fox Sports Rapid City. Welcome back to the Anytime Auto Sales Service and Detail Broadcast booth. Sales Service and Recreation. 2-0 the count on Riker Henny. A couple of breaking balls outside. Now the 2-0, and it's a fastball across the knees. 2 balls and a strike. Riker Henny reached on an error back in the first inning. 2-1. Line drive to right center field. That'll split the outfielders down for a base hit. Cut off by Hamrick, and it's a single for Riker Henny. And Riker Henny is 3 for 4 on the ball game, or on the day as a whole, between the 2 games here against Brookings. 3 singles and the error. Also hit by a pitch. Here's Jake Solano, strikeout victim his first trip. And a dive back in by Henny on the pickoff move. First pitch to Jake Solano. He drops down a bunt up the third base line, and Solano beats it out. An infield bunt single for Jake Solano. Henny to second. Now Wilson Kiefer, 2 on, nobody out. 4-3 the Hardhats lead, and a coach out of the Brookings dugout now and brings in the entire Hardhats infield around the pitcher Lees. Once again, that trivia answer. Coach Plouffe used to put bacon and pepperoni in his spaghetti sauce. He used to always make a huge roaster full of the sauce and cooked it all day long, according to his wife Patty. And he started with that recipe that he got from his father the very first year that it was suggested that Post 22 do dining on the diamond back in 1995. Wilson Kiefer squares the bunt very early. 2 on, nobody out, and a pickoff move back to second to try and catch Henny off the bag too far. Obvious bunt situation as Kiefer squares. He pulls back, and it's a called strike on the outside edge. 2 on, nobody out. Hardhats all 4 runs in the first inning of this ball game. Haven't scored since. The 0-1 offers at a bunt attempt, found it off the shoe top of Sam Harden behind the plate. So no balls and 2 strikes. Now the count on Wilson Kiefer, and he'll have to swing away. Remember, if you're not aware of the rule, if you bunt a ball foul with 2 strikes, you're out. The 0-2, swinging away, and he swings right through it. Down on 3 pitches, Kiefer strikes out for the second time, and that's the 5th overall for Nathan Lees. Huge out, number 1 for Brookings. Top of the order now, still 2 on, 1 out now. Top of the plate on the right side for Zeke Farley. First pitch, fly ball right field, back is Austin Clark. Underneath of it now, drifting by the foul line. A runner from second, and Riker Henny tags and moves to third on out number 2. Runners on the corners now for Amarian Saylor. Reached on an error in the first, scored a run. Popped out to second his last trip. First pitch to Amarian Saylor misses high for ball 1. Austin Clark a few more steps backwards as the right fielder. Hamrick as well. Moving back, and Saylor pops it behind the plate foul. Even count, 1 ball and 1 strike. So an 0-for-2 game 2 for Amarian Saylor. Game 1, he went 1-for-3. Looks at ball 2 downstairs, 2 balls and a strike. Had an 8-game hitting streak snapped against Mitchell in game 3, or game 4 rather, of the Veterans Classic. A check on Solano, who dives back in at first. Runners still on the corners, 2 gone. The 2-1 to Sailor, misses downstairs. Solano took off for second. He slides in safely without a throw. So both runners in scoring position. Now with 2 outs. The 3-1. Downstairs, ball 4. Sailor draws a 2-out walk to load up the bases and brings up Wyatt Anderson.
Number 22, third baseman, Wyatt Anderson.
First pitch to Anderson, a bounce to the left side, through the gap into left field. Here comes the second runner to the plate, and he will score. That's Solano. It's a 2-run single for Wyatt Anderson. And the Hardhats extend their lead. It's 6-3.
Number 20, first baseman.
Make it RBIs 3 and 4 on the night for Wyatt Anderson. Henny and Solano score. And now it'll be Hayden Hollick. Hollick 0 for 2, struck out his last time and flied to fairly deep center field. His first opportunity in the first inning. Hollick, a bouncer to the left side, the shortstop bobbles it, and a high throw to first, but in time to get Hollick for out number 3. And they say Koffel held the base at first. Hardhats add 2, and they extend their lead to 6-3 now as we head to the 5th. Back in a moment, right here on Hardhats TV and Fox Sports Rapid City. Welcome back to the Anytime Auto Sales Service and Detail Broadcast Booth, Sales Service and Recreation. To inning number 5 we go. Hardhats now leading 6-3 on the State Farm scoreboard, insured by agents Scott Carlson and Matt McCormick over the Brookings Post 74 Bandits. Lincoln Harden leads things off. He was at the plate when Austin Clark was caught stealing to end the 4th inning. And Harden looks at ball 1, a breaking ball low. From Brian Atkinson. Into the wind. And the 1-0, chopper up the middle, Wilson Kiefer on a couple hops, a long throw to first, in time, out number 1. One up, one gone.
Second baseman, number 12, Brett Kershaw.
And now Breck Hershoff. 0 for 2 day, a double play and a ground out to short. But that ground out scored a run. Fly ball to deep right field. Harrison Good still roaming back, and his toes on the edge of the warning track. He makes the overhead grab for out number 2. Ershoff put a ride into that one, just not deep enough. Quickly, 2 up, 2 gone now for Brookings in their half of the 5th. Here's Parker Winghart, 0 for 2 game 2, striking out his last time, and a bouncer on the right side to Marsh at second his first time. Looks at a called strike on the outer edge from Atkinson, 0-1. Atkinson into the wind and the 0-1. Up and away, well up and away. One ball, one strike. Shift put on by the Hardhats once again with Kiefer playing up the middle. And pop up left side and out of play. No balls and 2 strikes to count. The 1-2 wind. And strike 3 called on the outside corner at the knees. Backwards K ends the 5th for the Bandits. Hardhats leading 6-3 heading to the bottom half of the 5th. And we'll be back right here on Hardhats TV and Fox Sports Rapid City. Welcome back to the Anytime Auto Sales Service and Detail Broadcast Booth, Sales Service and Recreation. To the bottom of inning number 5 we go. And Harrison Good to lead things off for the Hardhats against Nathan Lees. First pitch to Good, a bouncer up the third base line, foul. 0-1. Harrison Good 2 for 2 rather, a pair of singles. One drove in a run and he scored a run himself. All in that first inning. The second of those 2 singles came in the third. The 0-1 foul ball right side out of play. Now no balls and 2 strikes on Harrison Good. It's 5, 6, and 7 of the Hardhats lineup. Good, Marsh, and Henney. Into the wind and the 0-2 misses high. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Breaking ball, fly ball to right field. Austin Clark roams back, still backpedaling, and he makes the grab now. And one right fielder flies out to the other for out number 1. So Harrison is 2 for 3 for game 2. Here's Dylan Marsh. 0 for 2 in game 2. Marsh squares the bunt, drops it down right back to the pitcher Lees. He fires the first in time, out number 2. Now Riker Henney, 2 outs and nobody on, 6-3 Hardhats. Out hitting Brookings 7-5. But 3 errors for the Hardhats and 2 for Brookings. First pitch to Riker Henny, popped up shallow right field. Out is the second baseman Hershoff, and it's Austin Clark in right field who makes the grab out number 3. So the Hardhats go down very quickly in their half of the 5th, and we head to the 6th right after this on Hardhats TV and Fox Sports Rapid City. Welcome back to the Anytime Auto Sales Service and Detail Broadcast booth. Sales, service, and recreation. 6-3 our score in favor of the Post 22 Hardhats over the Brookings Post 74 Bandits. Brian Atkinson back to the mound for his 6th inning of work in his start. And he faces 4, 5, and 6 of the Bandits lineup. Henry Hamrick leads things off 1-for-1 game 2. And Atkinson skips into breaking ball. 1 ball, no strikes. Solo home run in the 2nd. That was to lead off the 2nd. Walked in the 3rd. Now leading off the 6th. 1-0, swung on and missed. 1 ball and 1 strike. Hamrick in game 1. Couple of walks and fly to left, bouncer to 3rd. 1-1, swung on and missed. Now 1-2. Atkinson winds, kick, steals, and the 1-2. Breaking ball, line drive right at Wilson Kiefer down to a knee. He makes the grab out number 1. So 1 up, 1 gone. Here's Justin Koffel.
First baseman number 13, Justin Koffel.
Koffel 2 for 2. 1 drove in a run. Bouncer right back to Atkinson. Actually passed him. Wilson Kiefer fields and fires to first. And a stretch on the back end by Hollick. He held the bag. And that's out number 2. Very nice play by Wilson Kiefer. And the stretch by Hollick. 6-3 in the book. Kiefer's been active in the 6th inning. Now Nathan Lease. Bouncer up the middle. This one will hit the second base bag and go into center field. Marsh kind of slid to try and stop that one. Unable to catch up to it. So Lease on for the first time. Actually into the hit column for the first time. On for the 2nd time. He reached on a fielder's choice in the 2nd. Now Ashton Whitty. 0 for 2. Was robbed of a hit his last time as Atkinson misses up and away ball 1. A backhand stop by White Anderson at 3rd as he slid to a knee. Got up to his feet and still fired across in time for the out. A check on Lease as he dives back in. The 1-0. Foul tipped off the mitt of Solano. One ball, one strike. 2 outs, a runner on first, 6-3, the Hardhats lead. And the 1-1, breaking ball, called strike 2. 1 ball, 2 strikes now on Whitty. Atkinson set out his chest. And the 1-2, fouled straight back, high off the netting. And the trajectory to try and come into the booth if that netting was any lower. The 1-2, line drive foul off the fence. Still 1 ball and 2 strikes. Atkinson approaching 80 pitches now. This will be pitch number 79. A look at first as he comes set. The 1-2, breaking ball, swing and a miss. Down goes Whitty, swinging for out number 3, and that's the 3rd strikeout for Brian Atkinson on the mound. We head to the bottom of the 6th. After this, the Hardhats leading 6-3 right here on Hardhats TV and Fox Sports Rapid City. Welcome back to the Anytime Auto Sales Service and Detail Broadcast booth. Sales, service, and recreation. Bottom of the 6th. Jake Solano to lead things off. Solano, Kiefer, and Farley due up for the Hardhats. Leading 6-3 on the State Farm scoreboard, insured by agents Scott Carlson and Matt McCormick over the Brookings Bandits. Nathan Lease back to the mound, and Solano pops one foul on a bunt attempt off the screen behind the plate. No balls in the strike. Solano beat out an infield bunt single his last time in the 2-run 4th. For the Hardhats, line drive, base hit right back up the middle into center field. And Jake Solano is 2 for 3. Now Wilson Kiefer. Kiefer bats from the right side. He's 0 for 2. Squares the bunt, pulls back. Solano off the first base bag. Back pick play, not in time. So 1 ball, no strikes on Wilson Kiefer, trying to avoid the trifecta of strikeouts. Another check on Solano. He dives back in safely before the 1-0. Lease set. Couple of peeks at Solano. Kiefer scores the bunt, drops it up the first base line. Very nice bunt, and no one's covering first base, so Wilson Kiefer reaches. The first baseman, Koffel, came in to potentially field that bunt. So did the pitcher Lease. He went over to field it. And luckily, he didn't just try and fire to first because no one was covering there. Zeke Farley offers out a bunt attempt and fouls it right at the plate, 0-1. 2 on, nobody out for the Hardhats, looking for insurance heading to the top of the 7th. In case you're wondering, Post 74 will have 8, 9, and 1 due up in that 7th inning. Quick conversation, Coach Torvey and Zeke Farley up the third base line. Now back in the box, the 0-1 as a faked pickoff attempt to second. The 0-1, Farley scores the bunt, pulls back, and watches ball 1 miss low and away. Even count, 1 ball and 1 strike. So the bunt signal still on for Farley. 1-1, Farley pulls back on a bunt attempt once again and watches ball 2 miss high. Hardhats trying to potentially give Brookings an out defensively. Squares the bunt, offers that, it drops it in front of the pitcher, Lease. Bare hands it, fires to first, in time to get Farley by a half step. So the sacrifice works. Solano to third, Kiefer to second. Now Amarian Saylor walked, popped down, and reached on an error. Also scored a run in this ball game. Looks at a called strike 1. First pitch breaking ball from Lease. Into the wind and the 0-1, breaking ball this time downstairs. 1 ball, 1 strike. A reliever warming in the Brookings dugout, just a late toss right now. The 1-1 bounces off the plate, blocked by Harden. 2 balls and a strike. Lease up over 80 pitches. This will be pitch number 84. The 2-1 high, now 3 balls and a strike. Wyatt Anderson on deck. The 3-1. Breaking ball, called strike 2 at the knees. Now 3-2 the payoff. Lease to Saylor. Here it is. Breaking ball. Fouled right above my head. And he bit lower than when I came into the booth. Ball 4 misses high, and the bases will be loaded for Wyatt Anderson, still with just the 1 out. Wyatt Anderson, 4 RBIs in this ball game. He's 2 for 3. Goes after the first pitch, pops it up behind the plate. Long run for Sam Harden. He runs out of room as it hits the awning and bounces into the concession stand on a couple of hops. A 1-1 the count on Wyatt Anderson. 2-run double and a 2-run single. 0-1 misses high. 1 ball, 1 strike. 1 out, bases full of red Hardhat jerseys. And the 1-1, a breaking ball misses down and away. 2 balls and a strike. Lee's still working quickly, the 2-1. Line drive, down for a base hit into left field, and Kiefer trips around third base. Might have been held up there as well. But it's an RBI single for Wyatt Anderson, and make it the 5th RBI in this ball game for Anderson. He's 3 for 4 with those 5 ribbies. And now we might have a pitching change. Entire infield brought around Nathan Lees. Talking to Brookings coach. 7-3 our score in favor of the Hardhats. 4 in the first, 2 in the 5th, or actually the 4th. And now one more already here in the 6th. Lease will stay in this ball game. We bases loaded for Hayden Hollick. And Wilson Kiefer might add something. Might have had his contact pop out or something at third base. First pitch to Hayden Hollick is driven to deep left field over the head and all the way to the wall. Hollick digs for second. He ends up there. All 3 runs come across. And it's 10-3 Hardhats now. A 3-run double for Hayden Hollick. And now the pitching change will come. Brookings makes a pitching change, trailing 10-3 in the bottom of the 6th. Back in a moment right here on Hardhats TV and Fox Sports Rapid City. Welcome back to the Anytime Auto Sales Service and Detail Broadcast Booth, Sales Service and Recreation. New arm coming to the mound for the Brookings Post 74 Bandits, now trailing 10-3 to your Post 22 Hardhats out of Rapid City. And it's Peyton Theodosopoulos to the mound, the right-hander, coming in relief of Nathan Lees. So Lee's still responsible for Hollick at second. But with his line pretty much finished, Lees finishes with 5 1/3, 11 hits, 10 runs, 8 earned right now. 5 strikeouts and 2 walks. Bats coming alive late for the Hardhats. 4 runs in this inning. Here's Harrison Good. Runner on second, 1 out. First pitch to Harrison Good, a bouncer to the left side. Shortstop Winghart bobbles it, and Good will reach on the E6. Off the low part of his glove and through the legs of Parker Winghart. First pitch to Dylan Marsh. Misses outside for ball 1. Marsh 0 for 3 looking to get into the hit column. He pops it up left side, shallow outfield, long run for Lincoln Harden as he comes in. He's underneath of it now and makes the grab. That's out number 2. And now Riker Henny. 1 for 3 day in game 2 for Riker Henny. 9th man to come to the plate this inning. Exactly what the Hardhats wanted heading to the top of the 7th. First pitch to Henny from Theo Desopoulos is a called strike on the outer edge, 0-1. And he reached on an error, singled and scored, and then flied to right. Pops this one foul right side out of play. Down in the count, he goes 0-2. Ten to 3 our score in favor of Rapid City. Deep breath and the 0-2. Misses outside, a ball and 2 strikes. Still 2 on, 2 gone. And the 1-2 from Theo Desopoulos skips in front of the plate. Up to third, Hollick tries, and he's safe at third base. Slides in safely. And the ball on the turf. Just got his shoe top in. Harrison Good still standing at first base. Runners on the corners. Here's the 2-2. Chopper right side. Leap by Theo Desopoulos and an unhanded flip to first in time, out number 3. But the Hardhats gained the insurance that they needed. It's 10-3 heading to the top of the 7th. Back in a moment on Hardhats TV and Fox Sports Rapid City. Welcome back to the Anytime Auto Sales Service and Detail Broadcast Booth, Sales, Service, and Recreation. 10-3 our score in favor of the Hardhats. They try and gain the final 3 outs of this ball game. Tapping the Hardhats around Brian Atkinson to try and do it. And for Atkinson, trying for the complete game. He comes into this 7th inning at 79 pitches. He will face 8, 9, and 1 of post 74. That's Sam Harden, Austin Clark, and Lincoln Harden. Atkinson into his windup. And first pitch line drive to center field. Long run for Zeke Farley, and it's off his glove. Harden tries for second base. The throw comes in, and he dives in safely. It's a leadoff double. Farley had to roam to his right, and it just hit off his glove. I guess that would be ruled a single. First pitch now to Austin Clark, misses high, ball 1. This is Brian Atkinson's ball game. No one warming in the Hardhats dugout, or Hardhats bullpen. One-0, swing and a miss. Even count, 1 ball and 1 strike. And it is an error on Farley. The 1-1, down and away, 2 balls and a strike. Runner on second, nobody out. Atkinson looks into Solano. He flashes the signs and likes one. Comes set, the 2-1. Down and away, backhanded scoop by Solano. 3 balls and a strike now. And a pinch hitter on deck. Swing and a miss now by Austin Clark. Payoff pitch now, Atkinson to Clark. Here it is, and it's pop foul behind the plate, out of play. Another 3-2. Payoff, and it misses downstairs, scooped in front of the plate for ball 4.
Up to bat is number 18, Andrew Bishop.
So runners on first and second, nobody out. And the first pitch on the pinch hitter, Andrew Bishop, hits him. Now base is full. And Wyatt Anderson comes in. Jake Solano to the mound, as well as Hayden Hollick. Talking with Brian Atkinson. Words of encouragement from your teammates. Dylan Marsh as well coming in. And a pat on the back with his glove hand. First pitch now to Trey Svenis, fouled back 0-1. Check on first, and a close play at first on the back pick move. And just getting his hand on the bag was Bishop. Bouncer left side, Wilson Kiefer fires to second for 1. Marsh to first, and scooped by Hollick in time. Out number 2. The double play. A run comes in to score. No RBI for Svenis. 10-4 our score. Two outs, runner at third for Parker Winghart. First pitch misses downstairs, ball one. Atkinson delivers, and this one driven to right field, right at Harrison. Good, he leaps in into his glove, out number 3. That's the ball game. Hardhats sweep the Brookings Bandits in the doubleheader. 5-3 in game 1, 10-4 in game 2. We'll be back in 30 seconds for our Pioneer Bank and Trust post-game show right after this on Hardhats TV and Fox Sports Rapid City. Welcome to the Pioneer Bank and Trust post-game show. Pioneer Bank and Trust is proud to support local sports, and they want to be your trusted partner for all your banking needs. Pioneer Bank and Trust is local. Visit pioneerbankandtrust.com. Hardhats sweep the doubleheader 5-3 in game 1 and 10-4 in game 2. Let's talk about how they got the victory in game 2. It was 4 runs in the opening inning for the Hardhats. For game 2, they had 5 in game 1, and that's all they scored. Scored a few more here in game 2. Post 74 countered with 1 in the second and 2 in the third to cut the deficit to 4-3. Post 22 added 2 more in the fourth, make it 6-3, and then 4 huge insurance runs in the bottom of the sixth to make it 10-3. 1 in the top of the 7th for Post 74, and the Hardhats victorious 10-4 in this one for game 2. Today's player of the game is sponsored by Claiborne Los and Sabres. Whether it's divorce, injury, or a business dispute, when you need someone to step up for you, the law office at Claiborne Los and Sabres is always ready. Just Google Claiborne Los and Sabres in Rapid City. Game 2's player of the game, Wyatt Anderson, made a slick play at the hot corner of third base to rob a hit. A backhanded slide to his right. Got up to his feet and fired across the diamond for the 5-3 ground out. And I have a star in that one in my book. That came in the 4th inning, but he also had 5 RBIs at the plate. A 2-run double in the first, a 2-run single in the 4th, and then an RBI single in the 6th. Also scored 2 runs, so he accounts for 7 of the Hardhats' 10 runs, and he is Game 2's Claiborne Los and Sabres player of the game. Folks, the Hardhats play and host Pier Post 8 on Friday evening. Just 1 game on Friday. They'll play 2 on Saturday and 2 more on Sunday. So this weekend, a big set for the Hardhats. That 1 game against Pier on Friday evening. That first pitch scheduled for 7:30 local Mountain Time. And on Saturday morning, the Hardhats will face Pier once again. Pier and Casper then play middle game, and then the Hardhats and Casper play at 1:30 on Saturday, and then Casper and the Hardhats play a doubleheader on Sunday at 11:30 and 2 p.m. So until approximately 7:20 Mountain Time on Friday evening, My name is Adam Birch. Thank you so much for tuning in. Good night.